Today I want to share with you something that has been a thought process that has helped me during the hard times of pregnancy and the hard times of a newborn. And it doesn't necessarily solve your problems, but it shifts your mindset to help you feel better. And that's what we're doing is we're trying to shift our mindset to find more positivity in parenting, in pregnancy, and in motherhood. Thank you for joining. I'm Jocelyn, and we will jump into today's episode. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Thanks for joining. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Thank you for striving to find positivity in pregnancy. I know that this is a hard season of life, especially if you just don't enjoy a lot of the changes that come with pregnancy. There have been very few women that I have met that have actually really enjoyed pregnancy. And I was not one of them. I did not enjoy pregnancy, not until I started shifting my mindset. And it's like doing the things in these episodes, listening to this podcast and then implementing it, that can change how you feel about pregnancy and allow you to even have more kids. I thought I was going to only have 2 because pregnancy was so hard, so stressful, so worrisome, so frustrating, so sickening, all of the things. It was very hard. It was very difficult for me. But I knew God wanted me to have more children, and I knew that deep down I really did want more children too. I've felt called to be a mother, and I've felt called to bring these children here. And so God helped me through finding mindset work. And after I found mindset work, I started implementing it into pregnancy and found that it makes a difference there too, as well as it made a lot of difference in other areas of my life. Nonetheless, today's encouragement, today's tip is also a mindset tip. Because it's often these things that make things better. It's the thoughts we're thinking that can help make pregnancy better. So the thought that I want to share with you and then give a few scenarios is that the hard moments come and go. And you're like, well, I know that. It sounds common sense, but when you're in those hard moments, sometimes it just isn't common sense. You feel stressed, you feel annoyed, you feel worried. But you don't really think like these moments come and go. And I'll give you some examples of how I have thought about that because the examples help and they can help you to implement it better. So when I was pregnant, I would remember telling myself things will be different a year from now. I don't know why, but using the year really got me into a different set of mind frame. To where I was thinking about not my misery now, but in a year, things are going to look so different. And even though time may seem slower than pregnancy, we all know that time goes by pretty quick. And in a year, you will be less than a year, you will be holding your baby because pregnancy is less than a year. And having thoughts like that this will all be different in a year was something that helped me to get through it. The sleepless nights in pregnancy, the huge belly, some of those times were so uncomfortable. And there's not a lot of physical things to be done when your belly just feels huge and you're uncomfortable other than to shift your mindset. And so I would shift into thinking it'll be different. If I was towards the end of pregnancy, I would say it'll be different 2 months from now or however soon the baby would come. And shifting to thinking about how things will be different instead of dwelling in the negativity of your present situation can actually be a way to help you find more positivity. Positivity can be hard to come by in pregnancy because there's so many negative things that can really wear you down. And shift your mindset if you're not careful. The nausea, the sickness, the tiredness, the fatigue, the body changes, the emotional changes. There are so many changes that come with pregnancy that can be very hard. And if you are struggling in these changes and you just want to do better, but it is hard, I encourage you to look into my Morning Sickness Mini Course for Mental Health. Now, it's called the Morning Sickness Mini Course because that was the hardest time of pregnancy for me. It was so hard. And so I made this course with that in mind, but it actually has videos and mindset exercises that will help you throughout your whole pregnancy and tips for dealing with some of that negativity during pregnancy. So although it was kind of tailored towards that 6 weeks of nausea, it actually will help you your whole pregnancy. I encourage you to check it out. My website is in the show notes along with a direct link to this course. And one nice thing about my website is I don't have advertisements on it. Don't you love going to websites and there's so many advertisements all over the place? And it's just kind of like you can't get to what you want to read because there's so many advertisements. Well, currently my website does not have any advertisements. So explore around there. You might find some other free resources that can help you as well. These videos were what helped me so much during my 5th pregnancy. Excuse me. My baby is about 7 months old, and I used those videos, my own videos, and those mindset exercises frequently during my 5th pregnancy to help me get through. In fact, I have a powerful episode I did on that I will link in the show notes. So check that out if you want to find more positivity. And I wanted to give you a couple more examples and some thoughts of how to do this mindset shift of things will be different a year from now. When it comes to pregnancy, I couldn't think about a year because, especially in the sick phase of pregnancy, I would just think, oh, things will be better in a couple of weeks or a month. Like I couldn't think that far ahead when I was in that sick phase because it felt so far away. So I would use smaller time frames, like I hope in a couple weeks this will get better, or I'm nearing 12 weeks. That's usually when it starts to wane off. And then I would be like 14 weeks and I'd be like, oh, okay, we're getting closer to 16 weeks. That's when it really goes away. And I would just kind of keep looking for the next milestone sometimes to get my mind off of my present misery and kind of imagine myself in that present or in the future after those couple weeks or the month had come, I would imagine myself how I would feel and be, how I'd not be as sick. And so there is another example. I'm all for doing your best to solve your problems though. Try to do something to get you out of the rut, but sometimes it's just you need to shift your mindset. You need to think about something different. So think about something different. When my baby, I'd like to give a baby tip, I guess. Oh, story. Story's probably the right word. I don't know why I was not coming up with that word. But when my baby was little, like he was only a couple months old, he had this really deep congestion. And we couldn't get it with a nose sucker, but you could tell it was frustrating him, especially when he slept. Most nights when he was little, I would just put him in bed on my belly, or like I would lay him on his belly on my chest, and I would try to sleep upright, and I did not sleep good that way because I was too paranoid of stuff happening, like rolling on your baby or dropping him or anyway. Nonetheless, that's what I did for a while. But whenever I got frustrated or a little bit irritated that I wasn't getting good sleep, I would just remind myself that next year this will be different. Like when my baby is 1, he likely will be sleeping a whole ton better. Hopefully we won't be dealing with this congestion. And that helped me to get through that congestion. My baby is 7 months now, and he hasn't had that congestion for probably 3 months. So in the scheme of things, it went by pretty quick. And sometimes when we're in the moment, it doesn't feel quick. It feels very hard and difficult. But reminding ourselves that time does go by, this is going to change, things are always changing, can be helpful. As women and mothers, sometimes it is hard to invest in ourselves. Especially, it can be hard to feel like we are paying to invest in our mind when we know that if we just shift our mindset, we can help solve it. But using other people and what they have learned actually makes a big difference. I have taken a lot of coaching courses, a lot of courses that help with mental health and how to have a strong mind. And I have incorporated those into this course. So I know that it can feel like you don't want to spend your money on that, but it is worth it because it makes you happier. It makes you feel better, and it helps you to get through pregnancy better. I am so grateful for you. I am grateful for you listening to this podcast. I am grateful for your body, as you should be grateful for your body and the amazing things it's doing to grow your baby. I'm grateful for my womanly body and that it has been able to grow 5 babies. I did have a miscarriage in there, but my body has been able to do that. It's so incredible. There is miracles in pregnancy. Choose to make these mindset shifts, mama. It will make your holiday season, your pregnancy, and your life so much better. I am cheering for you. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight, and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.